There was a time in this fair land when the railroad did not run, when the wild, majestic mountains stood alone against the sun. Long before the white man and long before the wheel, when the green, dark forest was too silent to be real.
Moving up the first ridge from Stevens Pass, already getting fun and rocky. This is my campsite for tonight. Set up the tent. You can get an idea here. Where it's located. Overlooking some nice lakes. Mountains in the background. Glacier Peak. So today is 108 on the Pacific Crest Trail. I left Skycomish this morning about 11 o'clock. Because I got into town so late yesterday, I had to do a lot of my logistical stuff that I normally take care of in the afternoon, evening. When I arrive, I had to do this morning. So I didn't get out of there until 11 and was back on trail by about noon. Was going to do just 10 miles today. It was going to be an easy day. Wound up doing 12, still easy day. And then got a great campsite. Sets me up for the next 4 days or tween days, and looking at doing 25 miles each day, and that'll put me in a good position for going into Stehekin. So that's what I'm looking at. Kind of tired. To be honest with you, I don't sleep well when I'm in town. The body wants to be on trail. Just the way it is. I feel more comfortable on trail, and I feel more comfortable when I'm in motion. And right now, that's where my mental state is. And that's a good place as a thru hiker to keep it. And I know it's fragile. I know that mental state is very fragile. It would be really easy for me to flip and for me to just want to lay in bed and watch television and eat ice cream all day. Typically, I sleep best the night after staying in town, the first night back on trail, because I'm kind of tired, and then I get back into my rhythm, back into my comfort zone, and I sleep really good that evening. So I'm looking forward to having a good night's sleep tonight. Should be an interesting 4 days between now and going into Stehekin. This part of the PCT, it feels remote. So this is the view this morning. Clouds came in last night. It had a light rain all night long. Still raining now. I've been walking in clouds and drizzling rain all morning. Came up over this ridge and look at that. A little blue sky trying to sneak in. All morning and then into the afternoon, the clouds keep changing their mind whether they're going to stay or go. Right now it's a pretty view. It was socked in an hour ago.
It's a great day.
Hey, that was John. I first met John in Oregon, north of Crater Lake, and then again here in the northern Cascades. He's a section hiker, knocking out a few sections, and both times I'm just walking along, you know, just in my private thoughts, and out of nowhere I hear this, "It's a great day." So, spent some time talking to John. He exudes so much positivity that I had to get it on video. You know, in this era of contagion, yeah, catch a positive attitude and pass it on. For the last 2 days, supposedly I've been walking by Glacier Peak. I keep reading in gut hooks all the amazing views I'm supposed to see. But as you can see, this is what I'm looking at. Yeah, I can see about, I can see the trail, and I can see, depending on where I'm at, 50 to 100 yards. And that's my world right now. Looks like this bridge didn't fare so well. Look at all the debris as well up here. Clouds finally broke. I'm coming up the next ridge. Finally get to see what I've been walking by. Made up on top of Fire Creek Pass. Kind of windy and the clouds are rolling back in. Hopefully it doesn't rain again tonight. This is Mica Lake. Definitely a mountain lake. Beautiful. This is one of the pit toilets that's sometimes found at designated camping areas along the PCT. It just helps keep the waste down, so to speak. But this one is known to have the best poop view on the Pacific Crest Trail. And so while you're sitting on the throne, this is what you look out to see. Yeah, I spent the morning walking up a ridge, switchback after switchback. I mean, it was a long slog climb, but I was thinking, man, I'm finally going to be able to see all these great views when I get to the top. Yeah, well, take a look behind me. Look at this. The clouds came rolling back in by the time I got to the top. Yeah. At least it didn't rain last night. That was good. I mean, that was good. It didn't rain on me last night. So I'm happy about that. But you know, that's part of through hiking. You know, you got to take the weather that's handed to you as you walk the trail. Just part of the adventure. And now it's raining. And it's a cold wind. You know, oftentimes I show you a great campsite with beautiful views and that sort of thing, but this is a typical campsite. It's just a flat piece of ground. That's it. The trail is just right over here, and you know, it's just big enough for my tent. The nice thing about this one is it's not on any gut hooks or any guide, so it's not popular. Nobody knows about it, and that means the rodent shouldn't be an issue. And above me you can see trees, and so that should lower down the problems with condensation, and it's not too close to a stream or a lake, which should reduce condensation. But this is kind of, you know, it's at the right mile mark and it's getting dark, so time to put up the tent and call it a night. Hey, today is 112 on the Pacific Crest Trail. Today I'm trying to get to the high bridge that's over the town of Stehekin, where the shuttle bus picks up through hikers and drives them the 11 miles into town. So that's where I'm heading today, hoping to get into town tomorrow morning. But more important than that, I'm on top of a ridge, and if you look around me, look at that. I am not getting clouds all over me or getting rained on. And that's the first time in this section of the PCT I can actually look around and see the views. And it's spectacular. Look at these mountains. Today is day 113 on the Pacific Crest Trail. I was able to grab the mooring shuttle from the high bridge into Stehekin. I camped at the high bridge last night, day 112. I was able to complete this section as I wanted to in the 4.5 days, 110 miles. But it was a tough slog. It was quite hard. I can honestly say this is probably one of the hardest sections of the Pacific Crest Trail. Maybe I'm just getting tired, but I think it's more than that. Washington is known for its hellacious elevation gains. At times the trail was no wider than a goat trail and was overgrown. Twice I opened gut hooks just because I was convinced that I'd gotten off the PCT and I was on some unmaintained side trail, and it was quite overgrown at times, as you saw in the video, and poor maintenance in some areas. In fact, I was leapfrogging one section of the PCT with a section hiker, good guy, Gary, and we got done with one part, and he turns to me and he goes, "Well, that was quite an obstacle course." And I couldn't think of a better description for that portion of the PCT. It was just unreal. But I was able to get to where I wanted to, and I was really happy with that. And because I did the miles, I was able to take the 0 today. If you've been watching the videos, you know that I have not taken a 0 since Mazama Village. I've been holding my Washington 0 in reserve, so to speak, thinking that I would need it for the town of Stehekin just because of how the logistics would operate, having to take the shuttle into town, take the shuttle out, the times, that sort of thing. It just made sense that I was probably going to have to take a 0 when I got to the town of Stehekin. And so that's what I'm doing. Really nice little town. It's booming with business. The ferry was full of people getting off, and the campgrounds down near the town are full. The rules have changed. It's no longer first come, first serve like it was in the past. And the showers and laundry are closed this summer at the campground because of COVID. But other than that, things seem to be happening quite a bit down in the town. And I stopped by the bakery, of course, the famous bakery, and it was just absolutely good. I've got a bunch of stuff that I'm going to be eating tonight. And so I'm staying at the Stehekin Valley Ranch. Really good deal. For the $110, that's the tent cabin, and the only thing that's tent about the cabin is the roof itself, and everything else is wood. But for the $110 for the tent cabin, it comes with the shuttle to get me to and from the trailhead, and it includes all my meals, and I eat quite a bit, and it includes shower, laundry, and Wi-Fi. The only thing is the Wi-Fi seems to be pretty spotty and slow, so there might be a delay in this video getting out. Just taking a couple minutes to talk about Washington in general. This is probably my second to the last video on trail. My last video will be from here to the northern terminus, and of course I'll be talking about the end in that video. I will do 2 videos when I get off trail, and I'll talk about those in my last video. But this is the second to the last, so it's a good time to talk about Washington in general. The first half of Washington, from Cascade Locks to Snoqualmie Pass, pretty straightforward. A little bit harder than Oregon, but not too much. A lot of forests, some nice vistas, very pretty. But past Snoqualmie Pass to at least here in Stehekin, the elevation changes. This is where Washington is known or notorious for just having some hellacious elevation changes, and the trail's great at times. I mean, really nice trail, and sometimes it's no wider than a goat trail, and you know, and it's overgrown at times, as you saw, and some poor maintenance on parts of it. So Washington in general, past Snoqualmie Pass is more challenging, and maybe just I'm getting tired. It's been almost 4 months, but I think it is more than that. I think Washington earns its reputation. At the same time, it's incredibly beautiful. Some people describe it like being in the Sierra. I would disagree with that. The Sierra, in certain respects, is a lot of gray. And while Washington is quite rugged, it is incredibly green. I mean, in all the different shades of green. If someone were to paint a picture of what I see, a critic would say that the painting is unrealistic because the colors are too deep. So it's just been an absolutely stunning experience as far as that's concerned, although quite arduous to get up and down the hills. So I've enjoyed Washington. I'll be back on trail tomorrow. Got 80 miles to go to get to the border. So this is kind of the last stretch. And it's been quite a ride. Next time I see you, I'll be at the northern terminus. See you then.
There was a time